Okay, very good evening to you. Welcome to this restorative stretch class with me, Rob. Okay, welcome to tonight's class. Okay, so from here, really, really important. This whole session is about you trying to rest and digest. Calm yourself down. Okay, for this class, I always recommend that you bring a pad and paper to the session. The reason behind it is if thoughts come into your mind, you can write them down. So have a pad and paper ready for this class. And the other thing you need is plenty of water because you're going to hydrate quite a lot during the session. Now, the next thing is you need some time out for yourself. So please tell everyone else in your household or wherever you are at the moment that you are taking part in a restorative stretch session and try not to be disturbed. So you've got that security and that safety of the feeling to your session. Okay, during the session as well, whenever you need water, sip, drink it, lick it around your lips and hydrate. It will really make you feel good. And the principles we work on gravity yoga are trying to get into a wet noodle position, so nice and relaxed, as calm as you can. Second one is about breathing. We're working on 4 seconds in, and we're going to be rasping out breath for 8 seconds. And then the third one is about time, trying to hold the stretches for as long as we can. A lot of the stretches we're going to do tonight, really good if you take them into your bedtime routine. So before you get into bed, try and hold at least one of these stretches. And the goal is to try and get up for 5 minutes. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So we're just going to find a space. Just check yourself around one way, check around the other, make sure you've got plenty of room. Just check above your head, make sure you're not going to put your hands in light fittings. From here, we're going to bring our feet so they're underneath our sitting bones. We're driving our pelvis forwards and bringing our shoulder back. Now, from here, we're just going to work on our ankle flexibility. So we're rolling over our tiptoes and trying to get our knuckles down to the ground. Now, as we do this, naturally, you're going to want to tilt into this position here. So bring your pelvis forwards and shunt it forwards here. The shoulder blades retract back, the elbows tuck into the side. The crown of our head is up high to the ceiling. We're allowing the knees to front track forward and back. So we're working here. Nice and controlled. Now, the elbows, we're going to tuck them into the side. The shoulders are back into position and posture here. From here, we're going to stand on our right leg, and we're just going to work on our balance. Now, you might find that you need to grab the wall or grab a chair to do this. That's absolutely cool. But what I want you to do is make sure that this standing leg, the toes are facing directly forwards. Okay, so we're here. We're not inverted, we're not inverted, we're in plane here. Now, you can allow a little knee flex here if you wish to. Okay, but all the way through this, I want to bring your posture up and your back up nice and straight. So again, we're working through this knee lift, nice and high through. Again, the pelvis rock forward, the shoulders are back into position. Your breast pocket is facing forwards here. Nice control, great strength. I want you to feel that from big toe to little toe is flat down to the floor. Okay, and from toes to heel are flat to the floor as well. Nice high knee flexion. As the leg comes back down, it can tap the floor and then come back into plane here. At this point here, you're really feeling what's going on the outside of the glute. The glute medius is really engaged and attracted in. It's going to be starting to feel pretty tired. About now, keep walking it, keep moving it. Last one here. Looking good. Take a walk out for me, shake it out. Take a drink if you wish to. Take a little sip. And let's come back into our standing position again. So, feet underneath our sitting bones, shoulders relax back into plane. Okay, now your thumb should be facing anatomically forwards here, and your fingers are webbed up nice and wide. Again, we're going to stand, raise the foot up, and see what happens to this foot. Now, you can see in mine, my foot wanted to turn in here. I want to push that foot so it's hovering the floor, so it's flat. Okay, the glute is engaged nicely, the foot comes back down. Pelvis driven forward, shoulders are back. Nice control movements. Really good. Pelvis forward, shoulders back. Keep up this movement here. Slow control movements. What I'm trying to do is just get a load of blood flowing around the body, getting some good nutrient around. As we extend the leg, the foot is hovering the floor, the pelvis driven forwards. The shoulders are back into plane, holding up our posture. 4 more here, please. Let's keep it working. 3 more here. Great extension, great work. Last 2. 1 more. Good work, shake it out. Okay, So from here, you're going to take the 3 into what's called a butt kick. So we're going to have our pelvis forward and our hips kicking up nice and strong behind us. Keep the strength in through your back. Stand up nice and straight. Looking good. Okay, so from here, we're going to take our feet to sitting bones width apart. We're going to forward fold and drop down towards the floor and hold. So this position here, dropped and held in. You feel a lovely extension all the way through the back of your legs. We allow our head to just drop down, the crown of our head down to the floor, the chin down into the chest, the back of the head rounded round into position here. Now allow your arms to just flop and hold. Now, if you're feeling comfortable with this, you're going to fold the arms and just hang here. So this is called our ragdoll position. We're going to stay low and held down tight into this position here. Chin down on your chest, crown of your head down. Now, remember the principles we're working on here. The wet noodle position, our body relaxed, sunk into position here. Chin down, jaw down, nose down, looking through the feet. The second thing we're going to work on is our breathing. Take a nice deep breath in for 4 seconds. Then you're going to slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, nice deep breath in, 4 seconds in. Slow exhale. Now, as you're breathing out, I want you to rasp through the back of the throat with a bit of a sigh. And again, nice deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again, nice deep breath in for 4. Sigh it out. Go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Unfold your arms. Let yourself just hang here. Now at this point, you're going to start feeling your legs are going to shake. We've got the elongation happening through the back of the legs. Lower part of the calves are extending, the hamstrings extending too. The toes turning just marginally inwards. The back of the legs nice and straight. Again, the crown of the head down to the floor, the jaw down, the chin down. Feel the extension through the back of the legs. Slowly drop down and hold. Again, 4 seconds in, 8 seconds out. Now at this stage, my legs are shaking like mad. Absolutely normal. So again, we focus on the breathing. Close the eyes. This is about trying to lengthen the back of our hamstrings. Now 90% of all your back problems are taut or tight hamstrings. So the more we can work on this stretch, the better. Again, check your toe positions here. We want our feet nice and parallel. Even better still, the big toe marginally turned inwards. Really good. Now the crown of the head flat down to the floor. Again, these feet under sitting bones. If your feet are wide, just walk them in a little bit. You might find your dexterity is improving here. If this gets too much, you bring your hands back on your thighs, just to take a bit of ease off the back. And if it's getting to a point where you're feeling really lightheaded or you're feeling like there's too much pressure here, of course, stand yourself up. Keep it safe, relevant, and effective. But when you stand up, just come up slowly before you move around. Alternatively, you're just going to stay down with me here. And again, just holding this hang position here. That little involuntary shake is a really good sign. It's just this lovely forward fold. And again, we're trying to keep these legs fairly straight. trying to take the bend up the knee as much as we can. And again, you'll be surprised how many calories this class actually burns. All these involuntary shapes, all these responses, they're massive. They're so effective. Body just trying to stop itself from collapsing down into the floor. The legs working really, really hard. Again, feel the equal weight distribution from toes to heels, big toes to little toes, flat down to the floor. Again, fold the arms back in if you need to and drop down even further. Just allowing the weight of the body to just lengthen your body. Again, breathe in. Nice deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8. Wow, this is going for it today. Now, the other thing I will say with this class is probably for the next 2 or 3 days, you might find that there is some muscular alteration. So from here, we're going to slowly walk our hands back up our thighs, up our knees. Might be a bit grindy, a bit in the hips here. Might be in the tight of the hamstrings. Get yourself back up to standing. Shake out your legs, take a butt kick, and go for a walk around. Yeah? Welcome to your hamstring fibers. They're all working really hard. Shake out your legs, move it out. Grab yourself a drink of water because you'll have got dry in your throat there. Now, muscular alteration. So we're strengthening and lengthening. We're creating hypertrophy muscle build. Okay? So that's what's happening in all these movements. Give yourself a little butt kick here. Keep moving. So for the next 3 days, you might develop something called delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. So delayed onset, coming later, muscle soreness. You know what that is. You just felt it. So, and it may be around for the next 3 days. So just be aware of it. So now when you come down onto the floor, okay, we're going to tuck our knees out nice and wide. I'm just going to turn the mat through 45 so you can see it here. Okay, and we've got our knees up wide and our feet together here. Okay, ideally, you should be able to sit on your hind heels here, okay, and hold this position. If you're struggling, you're going to hold it here. You might need to get a pillow or something underneath your bottom just for you to be able to hold this position. If you're finding this tight in your knees, yeah, stick a cushion underneath your knees for you to be able to support. Okay, so we're sitting down in our position here, and we're going to walk our arms forward and drop ourselves down into our child's pose position. We're going to drop our forearms flat to the floor, fingers webbed out nice and wide. The elbows tucked down to the floor, the head dropped down, forehead down to the floor completely. From here, we're going to push up, walk yourself back, up onto your hind heels, and feel a lovely big lengthening through the front of your thighs. If this is too much, again, wedge something under here, sit up higher. If this feels comfortable, you can lean back here, and you'll feel an extension through the front of your thighs. We're going to hold whichever position feels comfortable for you. We're not going to work too long in this position, because we're going to come back up, we're going to fold forwards, drop down into restorative position, child's pose with our fingers webbed out wide, our forearms flat down to the floor, our bum back over our heels. Then we walk our way back up, our hands rest up on our thighs, again, whichever position you need to be in, okay, is good for you. Now, the more you can sit down onto the haunches, onto your heels, you will get more extension out through the front of your shin. You might be able to lean back here to get some extension through the quadriceps as well. You might bring your hands back, chest back, chin back, and looking up high towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to walk back up and then forward into child's pose again. Fingers to heel of palm down to the floor, forearms down as well. Good work, and release there. Nice. Okay, so from here, we're going to take ourselves into our press-up position here. Okay, we're going to do this on kneeling position. So we got our hands underneath our chest. We're going to drag this left foot up towards our left hand. We're going to extend the right leg back and just bring this right foot forward just slightly. The right leg extends and we can walk the leg back behind us and we drop down onto our forearms. Now this is going to lengthen out the outside of your left hip if your left knee is forward. You're going to drop down on your forearms and see if you can place your forehead down on the floor. Now you might get to here and go, Rob, there's no way I'm going to get that. That's cool. Yeah, absolutely fine here. You might also want to grab yourself a bench or something for you to be able to put your hands up on here onto a chair. Yeah, so any way that you can try and take a little bit of pressure off the outside of the hip is all fine. The right leg extends out as far back behind us as you can. If you can get down to your forearms, then that's brilliant. And if you can get even wider out with your elbows, that's even better. And if you can get your forehead down to the floor, you can sit into this position here. Now, gravity is going to help develop your stretch. The outside of your left hip is going to get a little bit closer towards the floor each time. The outside of the left shin is down to the floor, and the right leg is fully extended behind you. The forehead relaxed on the hands, the forearms flat to the floor. Our body completely relaxing into this. Now, you might find this in a myriad of different places. You might find it on the outside of the hip, you might find it in your shoulders, your lower back, you might start to cramp in your foot. This really does affect everyone in a different place. Predominantly though, you're going to find this on the outside of the pelvis, around the gluteal area, around that glute medius, and also the tensor fasciae latae on the outside of the thigh. If you struggle with iliotibial band pain, ITB pain, this is a great way of developing the stretch. And if you struggle with runner's knee, that sort of thing, or calf problems, it's a great way of activating the pelvis properly and making the hips work. Again, dropping the head flat down to the floor. Might want to turn your cheek to one side. Join me in this position here. Again, you work the level that suits you. You might not be able to get all the way down here. You might be holding yourself up in this press-up position here, kind of like this upright, what's called pigeon pose. Alternatively, again, you can have your hands up on the chair. And again, if you're finding you're going a bit lightheaded, just come out of the movement, keep it safe, keep it relevant, keep it effective for you, keep the movements good. We're going to extend the right leg even further back. We're going to feel big toe to little toe flat down to the floor. Heel turned up towards the ceiling. Nice big extension through the outside of the hip. Now the other thing you might find on this stretch is that you might start to feel a bit of blood loss into the toes. Okay, so the femoral artery kind of runs on the inside of our inner thigh. That's all normal. So if you do feel that's happening, just come out the stretch and come back into it. Again, the golden time we're looking for here is a 5-minute hold on this side, followed by a 5-minute stretch on the other side. Again, don't worry if you can't get to 5 minutes. Maybe you get to a minute and it's just completely uncomfortable. That's absolutely fine. Come out the stretches whenever you need to, come back into them. But again, apply these stretches to before bedtime. You can apply the ragdoll this evening and the lateral leg again into this pigeon pose here. Whatever you do on the left leg, make sure you do on the right, obviously. Again, deep breath in for 4. Slow deep breath out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend that right leg again if you wish to. Big toe to little toe flat down to the floor. Deep breath in again. Slow exhale for 8, 6, 4, 2, and again. Close the eyes. Feel safe, feel secure in what you're doing here. Try out the breath. Feel the change in what's happening in the pelvis. Lower hip coming down towards the floor. We've got this lovely big extension through the right thigh here. Really good way of extending and moving your body. At this point again, those involuntary little shakes are going to start coming into it. You might find a little pulsation going on. Absolutely normal, absolutely fine. Just relax into it. Again, last deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 6, 4, 2, and rest. Okay, bring your hands back to the floor. And slowly pushing that knee back towards the other. And take yourself onto all fours. Okay, and then see if you can come back up into standing. Okay, from there take a walk around because your pelvis might have locked for a bit. Then grab yourself a drink of water. Cheers. And we're going to go again. Okay, so just going to turn my mat around slightly. Okay, so moving down into the press-up position here. This time our right knee comes up forward. You did your left knee before, don't worry. Just do right knee this time. Just do the opposite one to what you did before. Okay, so from here we're going to drop down to where we feel comfortable. Again, you could be up in your press-up position, you could be up on a chair, you could be supporting yourself up here. You could be down into press-up. And from here, we lengthen out the left leg, the right knee is forward. And then we're going to drop down onto our forearms. Dropping our forehead down to the floor as well. Feeling a nice big deep stretch on the lateral aspects of the hip. Oh. It doesn't matter how often you've done this stretch. Every time you come into it, you'll find a different part of your body. And again, we're trying to drop the right side of the hip, the right side of the pelvis down towards the floor. Yeah, nice big extension through the side of the hip. Again, try and relax your body as much as you can. Close the eyes. Let your body go through its wet noodle position, trying to drop the hip out. Again, take a nice deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 6, 4, 2, and again, nice deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 6, 4, 2, and again, nice deep breath in. Sigh the breath out. And again, see if you can get your head a little bit further down towards the floor, maybe turning the cheek to one side. And dropping that hip down towards the floor. Closing the eyes, trying to relax the shoulders where you can. And again, feel where it feels right for you. Keep it safe, relevant, and effective for your training. And again, if it gets too much, you can just walk yourself back out of it. And drop yourself back in again when you feel ready. You'd be surprised, this class burns a huge amount of calories, especially when you get into that involuntary shake. Burn at least, 200 calories for half an hour workout. So good. And again, the challenge of the class is to elongate, is to strengthen and lengthen the muscle fibers, challenging the dexterity of our body. Again, nice deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 6, 4, 2, and again, nice deep breath in. Slow exhale again. And again, nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And again, deep breath in. 2, 3, 4. Slow exhale. Go 8, 6, 4, 2, and again, last deep breath in for 4. Slow exhale for 8, 6, 4, 2, and yes. Here we go. We're going to walk our hands back into our press-up position. And then we're going to take a bit more of our weight onto our hands here. Allow the right knee to slide back towards the other knee. Turn it out. Extend the right leg. Swap it over. Extend the left leg. From here, take the knees out wide. Put your feet together. Stretch your arms out nice and long. Drop your chest down low. Let your fingers web up nice and wide. Hips back, bottom back. Really good. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. And again, if you can sit on the heels, then that's great. If you can lean back, go for it. Okay, if you can lean back a little bit further, bring your hands wide to support. Okay, get to where it's safe, relevant, and effective for you. If you want to, you can go back even further. So find the level that suits you for your flexibility. Okay. From here, releasing, coming forward, coming back out of whichever stretch you went into there. You're going to roll onto your back. From here, we're going to bring our feet flat to the floor. We're going to push our pelvis up nice and high to the ceiling. Slowly lower the hips back down to the ground again. Push, drive, elevate again. Slow drop, lowering back down. Hips kissing the floor again. Push, drive, elevate. 2 more here, please, and feel how much change there is in the back of the hamstring. Last one here, please. Legs shaking like a leaf. They've worked so hard. Tell you what, for me, that is a really, really great class. Slowly stand yourself back up, shake your legs out. Good stuff. Excellent. From here, we're just going to go back into that little ragdoll position, pelvis back. Slowly stand back up, retract your shoulder blades, and again, forward fold. Bring it back up, retract your shoulder blades. Last one again. Don't worry about how far you're going. Just feel the movement through from the pelvis and shake it out. Good stuff. Interlock your fingers, give them a roll, and the other way. Shake it out. Really, really good stuff. Okay, so from there, shake out your body. Just give your hips a bit of a circle around one way and then come back the opposite way. Now, if you've been doing that live with me today, can you get in the comments below, just a little hashtag live. If you've done that replay, give me a hashtag replay as well. Well done, really, really good stuff. Now, during that class, you would have got quite dry in your mouth and your lips, so please hydrate really well at the end of this session. The other thing I would recommend is if you found that really tight in the outside aspects of your glutes, then join Jenny on Monday for legs, ones and tons. That's at 6:30. Also available on all replays as well, so have a look at those classes. Join me tomorrow morning. I'll be taking the mobility method tomorrow morning. That's at 9 o'clock. Again, all these classes you can do on replay to suit you when you need to do your training session. I'm back tomorrow night, 6:30, for HIIT strength training as well. So bring some weights, bring some tunes, let's get training. So really good stuff. Okay, Friday I'm here as well, early doors, 7:35 in the morning for HIIT power training session, or HIIT 20 we call it. And then finally at 8 o'clock we've got a body conditioning class as well, all around body compound workout. So get in with your training, let me know how you get on with it. So comments down below, let us know how we can help you. Well trained, see you next time for the next one. I'm just going to put a little comment in here. There you go, there's me putting in a little comment for you guys. Have a great day, cheers.